Hype versus reality, as you guys see it, when it comes to machine learning AI. What's hype and what's reality?
I think what's hype is the all-seeing, all-knowing chatbot that can handle unbounded conversation without a clarity of what domain they're in, because it'll fail X% of the time inevitably and it'll be very frustrating. I think reality is I can find a photo of my daughter in Google Photos when she was 2 years old to now that she's 10, geotagged in every location, which is stunning that they actually can recognize her facial imagery across 9 different years of age. And I think when you think of commercial applications for that, I think there are a ton of commercial applications to make business processes more efficient, to do that type of classification in a bounded
How does
way.
a CIO, first off, deploy technology like that in their organization today?
So I think a tangible example would be customer support, right? ITSM is probably a number of us are probably funding companies around this exact space, but what are the percentage of help desk calls that are change password or reset password, right? That probably can be automated in a way that doesn't require as much human manual interaction as a direct customer satisfaction plus cost benefit. That would be a tangible example of classifying just that problem and automate.
Could backfire. I like speaking to a person still, once in a while.
Well, you have the opportunity to do that if you want to listen through the IVR tree, but if you want just to reset your password, there might be an easier way to do that.
Peter, hype versus reality.
Well, one, big data, if we were sitting here a couple of years ago talking about big data, in my mind, big data, that was sort of 1.0 of big data, collecting lots of information. And we now have the ability to collect a lot of information. So now the holy grail of using that information is not to be reactive and say what happened in the past, but be a bit predictive about what's going to happen in the future. That's sort of, it's been the holy grail of computing. Take my data and help me to predict what's going to happen in the future. And I think that machine learning now, unlocking these these stores of information that we have, machine learning to help us predict the future in better ways is absolutely happening right now.
Give me a tangible example self-driving cars being one. I'm predicting whether I'm going to crash.
Well, you can predict even in the infrastructure space. Predicting failures and predicting who security attacks. These are all based on predicated data that has come in the past that then can be used. There's all kinds of security implications, automation implications, and operational implications that collecting information from the past, instead of saying, what did I do in the past, how do I use that into the future? Now, I believe, furthermore, that whether you all plan on deploying machine learning or not in your organization, every application will have properties of machine learning built in. So it's not whether you plan to use it or not, the applications themselves will start to employ, whether it's a marketing application, an analytics application, a DevOps application, a customer support application, all of those apps will start to have machine learning built in, and those apps will get smarter through the use in your own organization. And I believe it's going to be a property just like we use a graphical interface to interact with our system. Machine learning will just be a property of the application.
Yeah, a lot of investors used to say their focus was on mobile, and you don't hear that anymore. Mobile is just, it is a way that you deliver things. So I think it'll be another part of the core piece. But to go out and say you're ML, that's more of a how than a what.